5 in a row and go global. Which one should you use? What are the differences, pros and cons? Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Abby. I'm a homeschool mom to 4 boys ages 5 to 9. And so we have gone through plenty of curriculums. I love being a bit eclectic, and these are 2 curriculums that just really excite me. At the end, I will share with you what I actually think my preference is between the 2. So if you're interested in that, make sure to stick around. So I would say that both of these do come from a unit study approach, and both are going to help give you confidence as a homeschool mom starting out. They are both geared towards the early ages of about 4 to 9, although 5 in a row has continued studies that continue going with other book recommendations. I don't know much about them. I haven't used those ones. I have just used this first one here. Many of the books overlap. Books like How to Make an Apple Pie and See the World and Madeline, you're gonna find those in both of these curriculums, as they are both literature-rich curriculums, which is a Charlotte Mason thing, living books. They're just books that make you wanna linger and spend more time learning more and rereading them. But I really appreciate that both of these curriculums have really done their due diligence to go through and find really fantastic books. That's another point, is that the work has largely been done for you in both of these curriculums. There is a guideline of here's the book that you read and here's what you can talk about with that, or here's some activities that you can do. Here's how you can further what is going on for your child's education. It doesn't make you kind of figure out, okay, you're on your own, go do something else, but it is all encompassing. You don't need to buy other curriculums outside of these. These are full curriculums if you choose to use them that way. You can always add more. But I would say that if you are confident, like a lot of experienced homeschool moms would believe that these are all that you need. I understand having some questions of if it's enough. I would say that it is. So they're both going to tell you that, like with How to Make an Apple Pie and See the World, we're going to be working in the kitchen. We're going to be working with maybe timers in there. We're going to be working, I mean, you could even work with fractions in the kitchen, right? And so there is a lot of richness there, and those are suggested within these curriculums. Let's talk about some differences. While both of these are going to introduce your kids to different locations around the world, Go Global, obviously in the name, is more focused on that. So it has a strategy of starting at home and then expanding and going further. And so it also has this game that your children can play. And so you get these flashcards and you'll tell your kid, where do emperor penguins live? And because you learned about that in a lesson, and then they can put their right foot on where the emperor penguins live and their left hand on where you might buy a baguette, because you learned about that in a book. And so there's a lot of built-in review. Go Global has that built-in review. 5 in a row, not so much, except for just like rereading the books and remembering some of those things as you are going with it. 5 in a row has these little round circles that are based off of each book, and you can take them and add them to a map every day. Just take it back up and tack it on to where in the world this book takes place. So I appreciate that 5 in a row does that, and it has selected books from a wide variety of places around the world and around the country. So your kid is getting introduced to geography, which is a huge thing for me. So it does that, but it's not as organized. And really with 5 in a row, you can go in any order, which is a pro for 5 in a row. I think you can pick what books you specifically want to do. You don't have to do them all. Once you become confident, you could kind of go on and do your own books as well. Whereas Go Global is a year-long curriculum. It is scheduled out to be that way, and it has an order in which you are progressing through. With Go Global, you are going to be working on a specific continent for a specific amount of time, like 5 weeks. And then within there, you are going to have lots of books. Whereas 1 week at a time, you're going to be having 1 book. 1 week in Go Global might have 6 or 7 book options that you could read within that. You might repeat one several times, but there's a lot more reading options that you could have. You could narrow that down too. You don't have to use all of the books that are recommended in Go Global, but that is an option for you. 5 in a row, you're repeating that same book every day for 5 days. This could be a con for some people that don't like the story or don't like rereading the same thing every day, but really lingering in one book is beneficial to your child. They will remember it better. They are being caused to go through it from a different aspect each day and critically thinking through that book. You could do that through Go Global, but it's just not built in that way. While both are created by Christians, neither one is exclusively Christian. So anyone would feel comfortable going through these curriculums, and you could add in your own Bible resources. What I would recommend with Go Global is getting the Indescribable devotional for kids by Louis Giglio and going through that. With 5 in a Row, there is an optional Bible supplement book that you could get, and it has ideas of what you could continue using to talk about as you are hitting specific books. But again, neither of these are built in. If I was starting over, here's what I would do. I would use 5 in a Row for my preschoolers. I think that this is just such a gentle approach, and if you miss a day here and there, it doesn't really matter. You can skip around and do some books and not other books and make it all your own. You can really, really, really customize this curriculum, which is perfect for preschool. It'll give you confidence starting out as a mom. Then I would do Go Global for kindergarten, which is actually what we're using for kindergarten this year. And I have videos released about what all we are using with our students, and you can go check those out too. But my overall preference really is Go Global, because I believe that we should be teaching our kids at the core baseline geography and the importance of understanding the people that live in different places. Because if you don't have a heart for the people that live there, if you don't understand the way that these nations relate to each other, then you're really going to have a hard time with history. And kids get this. They get people, and their hearts are so generous. Jesus tells us to be more like a child and have more childlike faith. And I think that this is a beautiful introduction at a young age. I am so excited to go through this curriculum with my boys this year. I also love how much movement there is. I love that it is really short, which 5 in a Row is also, but in understanding for myself and then just doing it throughout our day, we don't even necessarily have to sit down and do it at one point. I don't love reading the same book 5 days in a row, and some of the books that were selected in this curriculum were not my favorite, although I saw value in them, so we did some of them anyway. But Go Global, I am all in for. I'm really excited about. If one of these curriculums really stuck out at you and you want to learn more about them, here they are. Here's my actual flip throughs of each curriculum, Go Global and 5 in a Row. You can really see inside what each curriculum has a little bit more detailed, and then make your decision for yourself with all of the information available to you. Thanks for joining me today. See you next time.